Imagine that the entire digital world, every AI model, every smartphone, every advanced chip on the planet, depends on a single machine that only one company on Earth knows how to build. That is not a hypothetical. That company is ASML, a Dutch firm most people outside the chip industry have never heard of, and it makes the machines that make the most advanced semiconductors in existence. So when the United States government quietly suggests that one of those machines might have slipped into China against the rules, it is not just a corporate headline, it is a geopolitical event. Quick disclaimer before we go further, this is my personal take, not financial advice, and you should always do your own research. Since this is the first time we're covering ASML on the channel, I'll give you the quick background you need, walk through what this China accusation actually is, and, importantly, what it is not, and then look at whether the business underneath the noise is as strong as its reputation suggests. Harry's the one-sentence version. A U.S. official raised a concern. ASML flatly denies it, and so far there is no public proof either way. So let me explain why this company matters so much, because that's the key to everything else. Making an advanced computer chip means printing unimaginably tiny patterns onto silicon, features measured in billionths of a meter. To do that at the cutting edge, you need a technology called extreme ultraviolet lithography, or EUV. And here is the staggering fact: ASML is the only company in the world that can build EUV machines. Not the leading maker, the only maker. Each machine is roughly the size of a bus, contains more than 100,000 parts, costs hundreds of millions of dollars, and embodies years of accumulated engineering that no rival has been able to copy. To give you a sense of the absurd difficulty, to create the EUV light, the machine fires a laser at microscopic droplets of molten tin around 50,000 times a second, and it focuses that light with mirrors so flawlessly smooth that, blown up to the size of a country, the largest bump would measure a fraction of a millimeter. China has been trying for years to build its own version and has not come close. ASML is also rolling out an even more advanced generation called High-NA EUV, which pushes that lead further still. Every leading-edge chip, the kind powering the AI boom, made by companies like TSMC, Samsung, and Intel, is printed using ASML's equipment. That is what people mean when they call ASML a picks and shovels play. In the gold rush of artificial intelligence, ASML sells the one shovel nobody else can make. And because those machines are so central to economic and military power, they have become a choke point that governments fight to control. Which is exactly how a Dutch equipment maker ends up in the middle of a superpower standoff, and exactly why its pricing power and margins are so unusually high. Now to the news itself, and this is where precision really matters, because the headlines are scarier than the established facts. According to reporting from Bloomberg, the U.S. Commerce Secretary raised concerns in private meetings with ASML's leadership that one of the company's top-tier EUV machines, or components of one, may have reached China in violation of export controls. And that is essentially the entire substance of it. Let me be very clear about what this is not. It is not a formal investigation, it is not an enforcement action, it is not a new restriction, and crucially, no public evidence has been presented to back it up. As of now, it is a suspicion, not a finding. ASML, for its part, has denied it about as flatly as a company can, stating it has never shipped an EUV machine or EUV-specific component to China, that every one of its EUV systems worldwide is accounted for, and that these machines physically cannot be relocated or even operated without ASML's own people and software involved. The company went so far as to circulate a document essentially saying there is no ASML EUV system in China. Worth remembering, the Dutch government has withheld the export license for selling EUV to China since 2019, so such a sale was never permitted in the first place. And it is worth understanding that ASML already lives inside a thick layer of export rules, built up over years by Washington, The Hague, and Tokyo, that restrict not just EUV but some of its other machines, and even the servicing it can provide to existing Chinese customers. This is a company that has been operating under tightening controls for years, not one stumbling into them. So while the geopolitical noise is real and the stock reacted, the actual allegation remains unproven and strongly contested. And I would be careful about treating a reported concern as if it were established fact. So let's step back from the drama and look at the business, because the numbers tell a calmer story. In its most recent quarter, ASML reported net sales of about 8.8 billion euros and net income of roughly 2.8 billion, with a gross margin of 53%, genuinely elite profitability for a hardware company. For the full year, management actually raised its revenue guidance to a range of 36 to 40 billion euros, citing AI-driven demand, and it sat on a backlog of orders worth around 39 billion euros at the end of last year. That backlog is the multi-year visibility that makes this company unusual, because it can already see a large chunk of its future revenue booked. Now, on China specifically, which is the heart of this whole story, there's a detail that genuinely surprised me. ASML has been deliberately shrinking its China exposure for 2 years. China went from around 41% of revenue in 2024 to roughly 33% in 2025, to guidance of about 20% for this year, and in the most recent quarter, Chinese system sales were down to about 19%, while South Korea jumped to nearly half the total on a memory chip building boom. And the revenue it is losing in China tends to be the lower margin, older generation machines, while the demand replacing it, high-end EUV for AI chips in Taiwan, Korea, and the US, carries higher margins. In other words, the China business is shrinking and the mix is actually improving. Two more things round out the picture. ASML also runs a large and growing services arm, maintaining and upgrading the thousands of machines already installed around the world, which now generates over 8 billion euros a year of more predictable, recurring revenue. And it returns serious cash to shareholders, having raised its dividend by 17% and bought back stock, with tens of billions handed back over the years. A company that has already roughly halved its China dependence is not one that is likely to be blindsided by the next restriction. Of course, none of that makes ASML a sure thing, and there are real risks I would want you to sit with. The biggest by far is the one this whole episode illustrates: geopolitics. ASML is no longer just a company, it is a strategic asset that the United States, the Netherlands, China, and others are all maneuvering around. Even if this specific China accusation evaporates with no evidence, the broader reality is that ASML's access to one of the world's largest chip markets can be widened or restricted by governments, almost overnight, for reasons that have nothing to do with how well the company executes. That is a genuinely uncomfortable kind of risk to underwrite. Second, the China exposure that remains, even at roughly 20%, is still meaningful, and further restrictions or Chinese retaliation could erode it. Third, the semiconductor industry is deeply cyclical. ASML's customers spend in waves, and the AI-driven boom lifting demand today could cool, turning a comfortable backlog into cancellations in a downturn. And those customers are few. A small handful of giants like TSMC, Samsung, and Intel account for the bulk of demand. So if even one of them pulls back its spending, ASML feels it directly. And fourth, this is not a cheap stock. It trades at a clear premium to its industry, which means a lot of good news is already priced in, and any serious disappointment, regulatory or operational, can be punished hard. I want to be explicit about one thing. A falling price on scary headlines is not automatically a bargain. Sometimes the market is right to worry, and the job is to judge the actual facts, not just the size of the discount. So where do I land, leaning modestly positive but clear-eyed about the noise? I think it is important to separate the two stories that got tangled together here. The business story is genuinely strong. ASML holds a true monopoly on the single most important machine in modern technology. It is highly profitable, it has years of orders already booked, and it has spent 2 years intelligently reducing the very China dependence everyone is suddenly worried about. The geopolitical story is messier, but as things stand, it is a reported concern without public proof, firmly denied by the company, and an unproven allegation is not the same as a fact. If ASML keeps executing and the AI build-out keeps demanding its machines, the long-term picture looks compelling to me. Management itself has pointed to revenue potentially reaching 44 to 60 billion euros by the end of the decade as its next-generation machines ramp, and AI memory chips add a second engine of demand. If the geopolitical screws tighten further, or the cycle turns, the road could get bumpy regardless of how good the technology is. I honestly do not know how the political side plays out. I'm one person reading filings and news reports, not someone with inside knowledge of trade negotiations, and I could be wrong about any of this. So please treat everything here as opinion and research, not advice. Nothing in this video is a recommendation to buy or sell anything. I'm not a financial advisor, and you should do your own homework before making any decision. If real money is on the line for you, talk to someone qualified. And now over to you. Drop a comment and tell me which stock you want me to break down next, because the best ideas on this channel keep coming from you.